It was 1957 when the Russians successfully launched the Sputnik satellite into orbit, becoming the first man-made object to orbit the Earth. It stunned the whole world, and the Russians basked in its success. It was the beginning of the space age. Only 1 month later, the Russians would celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Bolshevik Revolution. Russian Premier Nikita Khrushchev decided it would be a monumental coup, another space spectacular, if the Russians could send a living being into orbit by then to celebrate the event. Under tremendous pressure, scientists rushed to build another ship, Sputnik 2, in only 1 month, without proper time for development or even blueprints. Sputnik 2 was finished on time and included a pressurized compartment for flying a dog into space. Due to the lack of adequate development time, no provision was made to bring a dog back to Earth alive. So Sputnik 2 was a suicide mission. The satellite was not designed to come back safely to Earth, yet the Soviet space program didn't want to delay the launch. So in reality, the dog chosen was chosen to die. The dog chosen to die in this suicide mission was a 3-year-old female black and white curly-haired 13-pound homeless mutt who wandered the streets of Moscow. During a radio interview before her flight, she was introduced to the public. She barked during the interview, so she was named Laika, which means barker. Her life had been a harsh one, wandering the streets of Moscow, looking for a meal or maybe even just a little love. She was an extremely friendly dog who was always eager to please. She was chosen because she was so obedient and the most tolerant of loud noises and air pressure changes. Before her flight, she was subjected to test runs, including a centrifuge, and was put into smaller and smaller pressurized capsules where she was kept for days or longer so she could get used to the tiny, cramped quarters. Surgery was performed on Laika, too, embedding medical devices in her body to monitor heartbeat, breathing rate, blood pressure, and physical movement. Knowing this was going to be a suicide mission, one of Laika's keepers said shortly before her flight, "Laika was quiet and charming, so I wanted to do something nice for her." So he took 3-year-old Laika home with him. That night, Laika came to know what a warm, loving home is. She played with his children and received loving hugs and warm food. Laika's cabin was just big enough that she could sit or lie down in the cabin, which was equipped with an air regeneration system and padding. She had access to food and water, but in a gelatinized form. There was also a camera so that scientists could monitor her. She also wore a harness. Sputnik 2 was a suicide mission for Laika because the craft was never designed to bring Laika back to Earth alive. Just 1 month after Sputnik 1 stunned the world, the ship carrying Laika lifted off with G-forces reaching 5 times normal gravity on Earth. Alone and confused, the noises and pressures of flight terrified Laika. Her heartbeat shot up to triple its normal rate and her breath rate quadrupled. With a pounding heart and rapid breath, Laika rode a rocket into Earth orbit 2,000 miles above the streets she knew. Early telemetry indicated that Laika did survive the launch. Scientists expected Laika to die from oxygen deprivation after 7 days in space. That would have been a painless death, normally occurring within 15 seconds. Originally, the Russians claimed that Laika died painlessly after a week in Earth orbit. Since then, however, the truth was coming out. Reports indicate that Laika survived only 5 or 6 hours after launch before overheating and dying a miserable death, suffering from the unbearable heat, sheer terror, and panic. She had no handlers to calm and comfort her as they did after the centrifuge tests. A month after launch, Sputnik 2's batteries died, so the spacecraft stopped beaming data. With the body of the now-deceased Laika still aboard, Sputnik 2 continued to orbit for another 5 months. With all systems dead, the spacecraft continued to circle the Earth for 2,570 orbits, at which time it re-entered the atmosphere, burned up, and disintegrated, along with Laika. Sadly, even if everything worked perfectly, if Laika had plenty of food, water, and oxygen, she would have died a fiery death when the spaceship re-entered the atmosphere. Human astronauts could understand the risks and dangers of such a mission, yet consent to putting their lives on the line. But Laika had no choice. She died not knowing where she was, why she was weightless, and why her caretakers were not there to comfort her and ease her fears, as they had always done before. Laika gave her life for the advancement of humans in space, they say, involuntarily and unbeknownst to her filling a suicide mission. Laika's remains were never found. Laika will never come home. But the dreams, hopes, and aspirations they say she inspired are here to stay.